Inappropriate, that is inappropriate. Inappropriate, that is not okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today we're going to talk about Relic 10 again, and I think we're going to get it soon, folks. I think it's imminent. CG's going to announce it in a month or less, and it's going to be part of the new raid. And why do I think that? I guess we should discuss it. Why don't we discuss it? In fact, first, I guess I should also acknowledge there are other ways that we can progress our accounts in theory. Eventually, CG is going to release something for mods. I mean, they have all the way up to 7 dot that they had been testing a long time ago, and they're probably just overpowered for our current relic levels, frankly. Eventually, maybe we will get 7 dot mods. That'll be interesting. I don't think that's imminent, though. And I don't think that it is really going to happen that we're going to have levels, like progression on levels. We're at 85. It's an awkward number to leave us on, but getting us up to 90 after how many characters have already been released and how much it's going to cost us all to get them, credits wise, just to get them to level 90 or above. I think that's just not in the cards, folks. We've talked about that before, and whereas some people have shouted me down and told me that I was an idiot and that we were easily going to get the new level 90 very soon, which was like 2 years ago that they shouted me down on it, that hasn't happened, and I don't think it's going to happen. On the other hand, that we also haven't gotten Relic 10 yet, which I've been predicting wildly, rampantly for at least a year, probably more than that, if we're being honest. I do think that there's more to it, though, folks, than just saying, oh, 10 comes after 9. We have Relic 9, therefore we're going to get 10 soon. I think there's some hints, folks. First off, we have the new Naboo raid requiring Relic 9. Now, there's even a new reward level for Relic 9 teams. If you can get to that new crate, you can reach this lofty goal. And whereas, yes, Rise of the Empire content has required Relic 9, it's been widely ignored by the community, and rightly so. I mean, Relic 9 is very expensive and very difficult to get. People are more concerned about getting, Adrad to Relic 9, getting Jedi Master Luke to Relic 9 when they can, Darth Revan, Malgus, Malak, etc. They don't have time for getting like a, Jin or so to Relic 9 or something like that. And then I get it. That makes sense. So the fact that now they're coming up with another thing that is, with the raid is the most important type of reward that you can get in the game right now. The Mark III currency is the golden standard for rewards, frankly. Even though it's fairly boring, it is extremely important to the progression of our accounts. And so the fact that they're requiring Relic 9 on these things, I mean, it's just a hint. That's just one little thing. It's not that surprising, but how many people are really going to be able to participate in that? Is CG just, I mean, they're creating mechanics for like 7 total people? I kind of don't think so. Moving forward, though, there's also this new assault battle that not only is it requiring Relic 9 on some characters that, I mean, it's not like that surprising, but how many other requirements do we have other than Rise of the Empire, which, like I said, has been widely ignored? What other things have they required Relic 9 for in this game, folks? That, like, Adrad and then a couple Sith? Is that it? I mean, maybe 1 or 2 other things. I don't know. Relic 9 has largely been something we don't need in order to progress, and now we need 2 of them for this assault battle? I mean, maybe it's just a money grab from CG, and I mean, it is that. Anyways, everything they're doing is a money grab because this is a business that they're trying to sell things, folks. It's not surprising. But this new thing requires Relic 9. It also gives Relic 9 pieces, folks. This is the first time we can, quote-unquote, farm Droid Brains anywhere else for free, other than, I mean, we can get crystals for free and then buy them in the store. That's fine. And then we can get them in territory wars in a very limited number. So progression into Relic 9 has been largely stymied by CG and really controlled by them, which is why we'll never finish Rise of the Empire at our current rate. But right now, the new event is going to give us these things, which is cool and all that, but CG has been extremely stingy with Droid Brains. And now we can just get them, like we even get a refresh on it, and this is going to be a recurring monthly event. Granted, it takes Relic 9 to get them, but it's something we can start farming fairly quickly and relatively easily if we're going to save a few crystals here and there for some Droid Brains in the store. There's also Rise of the Empire is starting to escalate to Relic 9 as well. I know that you can go at your own pace, and various guilds are, still moving up, and I'm not saying that the end game is the only place that matters. I am saying, however, that a lot of the bigger guilds, like even the middle tier guilds, are starting to push up against that limit of like, oh, okay, well, now we're gonna have to start platooning Relic 9 characters in phases 5 and 6 if we want to progress with more stars and stuff. And so this is something that is starting to become more and more relevant to a lot of different guilds, and even if it's not super relevant still for a lot of guilds, it is something to be keeping in mind moving forward. And so we'll have to see about that. I mean, Rise of the Empire is the biggest hint ever that they're going to give us a lot more access to Relic 9 eventually. So, and everyone, so you're going to say, but Zareth, you're talking about Relic 9. What about Relic 10? You're very smart. Now, shut up. CG knows we're not going to spend money for Relic 9. There's a very few number of people who can afford $100 per Relic 9 character. Maybe they've reduced the price, but it's not by that much, folks. Relic 9 is out of reach for the vast majority of people. Trying to get a full squad of Relic 9 is eccentric. People are like, hey, look at my Relic 9 Tuskens, and people roll their eyes. They're like, you're just trying to get attention, aren't you? Like, that's not impressive. That's stupid. Like, why would you progress your Tuskens to that point except to get attention? That was one of the dumbest things you could do. They know we're not going to spend money on it, guys. They know we don't think it's worthwhile, and it isn't. Relic 9 is not worthwhile. In its current iteration, Relic 9 is not worth getting. It sucks. Frankly, I mean, cool. The stats are nice. It's cool to have Relic 9. It's intimidating to face people who have a bunch of Relic 9. That's true. But right now, Relic 9 is nothing, really. Like, people say, oh, don't give us Relic 10, and they're scared of it. And I get that fear. Maybe it'll suck. Maybe it'll be awful. But if Relic 9 is the thing we have to gauge against the impact of what Relic 10 would be, I would say, who cares? Bring it on. Bring Relic 11 and 12 and 13. Like, it doesn't impact the majority of players because we just don't have access to it, and we don't, therefore, come in contact with it very often. At the current rate, though, we'll never finish Rise of the Empire. The territory battle, we just won't. That's just not a thing we're going to do. And a lot of whales, guys, a lot of the bigger accounts are very close to being complete. As in, they have full Relic 9. There's a few accounts that are done. They have complete Relic 9. Now that CG has introduced the packs you can buy for other people, and they're unlimited, some people have spent, they're like, oh, I'll just spend my last $10,000 that I needed to complete and get a complete roster. And that's actually a thing. That not very many people have done that, and that is not judging anyone. It's just the fact that some people are spending that money in the game. CG would probably prefer that those people especially are allowed to continue to spend on this game, right? And we would too. Like, we need people to spend money on this game, or it's not going to exist. That's people who yell about how dumb whales are have there's no empathy from me. I'm not like, oh yeah, I agree, because I think that's the dumbest take ever. People are like, stupid whales. They're the ones who keep the lights on in this game. We want that. We need them, even if sometimes that makes us feel small and insignificant and bug-like. Small price to pay, my friends. So here's the thing, guys. I think they're going to give us Relic 9 materials for free. They're going to make those materials widely available. And probably, my guess is that they're going to give us like Mark IV raid currency, or maybe they'll just make it available for Mark III raid currency, but make it extremely cost prohibitive. I'm guessing that's what, like, it's going to come through the raid, though. I think it's going to be introduced through the raid. Maybe they'll have, like, some kind of revamped game mode that they introduce it through, but I think it's going to be Relic 10 will be introduced with the new raid, and then Relic 9 will mostly just be widely available to everyone. I think that, yeah, maybe they'll give us... maybe Relic 10 won't be available through the raid. Maybe it'll just be available through participating in the, getting the top crate or something, the top 2 crates, something like that. But I do think that, and then maybe they'll revamp Territory Wars or something. Like, God knows I've been crying for a Territory War revamp forever, and CG has just ignored it forever. It would be lovely if they introduced an update to Relic to Territory Wars and said, hey, here's a fun new mode that's actually worthwhile, and if you want to get Relic 10, that's one way you can do it. And then Relic 9 will become more widely available in a lot of different stores and a lot of different game modes. So there's also this idea that we're getting a ton of credits in this new Assault battle. Like tons of it, like 22 million per month, which is really nice. That is very much appreciated. But why are we getting so many credits? CG shut down our supply of credits in a big way when they shut down the old raids. They were like, hey guys, go F yourselves. You can't have that many credits. And I know you can buy them in the store, but they're still extremely tough to get, to the point that I don't buy mods in the store nearly as often as I used to. Maybe this new gear that they're going to force us to be applying, or the new relic levels, are also going to cost a lot of credits. I don't really know for sure. But I would also say, and this is the last thing I have to say about this matter, folks, is, this is maybe why we've been clambering, like, and scratching our heads. Why haven't we gotten a new fleet announced? Why haven't we gotten a new Galactic Legend announced? We don't know what's going on in the future. We need a new road ahead. I think that right now they're building a scaffolding, or they're building some way to try to make it so that they can announce Relic 10 with this new raid. And hey, look at this, Relic 10 is here. Here's a new Galactic Legend, and they require a bunch of Relic 10. Or maybe just a couple Relic 10. Or maybe they just require a whole buttload of Relic 9, which is suddenly more approachable and accessible to us peasants. I mean, I include myself in that too. The people I face daily in GAC have way more Relic 9s than I do, even. As crazy as that is. So, I don't know, Relic 10, how are they going to introduce it? Who are they going to give it to? How are they going to make it accessible, if they do make it accessible? And how are they going to make Relic 9 accessible? Who knows exactly, but I do think that they're setting the stage for Relic 9 to become something we can all discuss and say, oh, yeah, okay, we can do that now. Yes, maybe it's tough to get, just like Relic 8 is still kind of tough to get. Maybe that's what they make 9. 9 becomes the new Relic 8-ish. And then Relic 10 is tough. I don't know. Who knows what the exact details are, but I do think that that's coming soon because of the things I just showed you. They're starting to set the stage for it. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. What are they going to do? Maybe you think I'm completely off my rocker. I probably am. I always am. Relic 10, I'm like, dude, I think there's Relic 10 coming, and then a month or two later, it's like, oh, I guess not. I would love to hear what your thoughts are, guys. Keep it respectful. Thank you so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth is wrong about Relic 10.